Grice's theory of cooperative principle may not be taken as an absolute theory of theory which covers the conversation between various people completely. It has its certain limitations which needs to be considered when we have to talk about them comprehensively. Some people believe that Grice's concept of cooperation or cooperative principles is too naive and it cannot be implemented on real conversations because it assumes too friendly uh, conversation or conversation behaviors between people, which usually are not in our general routine conversations. So, in this way, it would be very difficult to apply them as they have been proposed by Grice on our real conversations. We also need to take care of uh, the others' involvement and their independence when we want to apply these principles on our real conversations, because sometimes we genuinely want to uh, say things in an indirect way, in a hideous way, or we try to hide things because we have to take care of others' independence and involvement. We cannot say things directly because this might hurt others' feelings, their right to be involved. People uh, may not like to be involved in a certain situations, or they may like to opt out of a certain situation, which ensures their independence as a participant in a conversation as well as their independence as a human being. So while considering the concepts of independence and involvement of speakers, sometimes we might like to say things in an indirect way. But the maxims proposed by Christ may not provide that particular philosophical space to cover such events where the involvement and independence of others is kept intact. That's why it is assumed that Grice's maxims work as a prescription which needs to be followed strictly in order to be considered for a communication as cooperative. So uh, they may be too strict to be followed in a real life routine conversation. Another objection which is usually raised against the maxims of Grice is that they overlap with each other, and sometimes we are confused that which maxim is followed or being flouted, and which is not being followed or flouted. For example, if you have a look at the example in front of you, what did you have to eat? The answer is by the B, oh, something masquerading as a chicken chasso. So here you can see that B is clearly flouting the maximum of equality because he's not clearly telling, he's not telling exactly what is he eating or what is he intending to eat. That his food was pretending to be something and implying that it was not chicken chassa. So in this situation, he is not providing the right and direct answer, so he can be said to have violated the maximum of quality. Similarly, he is also flouting the maximum of manner because he has said something in an ambiguous way, and he is not providing the direct or clear answer. So listener is still confused after listening to the answer that what food is he eating actually. In this situation, he is also flouting the maxim of manner. He can also be said to flout the maxim of quantity because he is not providing as much information as which is enough to reach the conclusion or to reach the answer required, because he has given too little an information to understand what is he eating. In fact, all these maxims are operating together here, and we would be confused in order to discriminate between them when we confront such situations. In this example, we can see only the maximum of relation has not been violated because the answer provided by the speaker B is exactly the one which could have been uttered in response to the question posed by the speaker A. Another major objection to Grice maxim is that they are subject to cultural variations. Various cultures have various norms of these maxims, or or the norms of cooperation between the speakers in a communication. For instance, in Great Britain, it's not acceptable to say, we will call you in about 2 weeks, and then not call. If somebody says in an interview to an interview that we'll call you back in a week or so, so it is almost certain that they would call the interview back for another interview, or for the job, or for any employment. So it would be very unusual in Great Britain if somebody says this and doesn't call back the other person. But it's a normal routine in many other contexts, including in Pakistan, that we do not uh, I mean say that. And uh, usually this expression is used to say that we are not interested. During interviews we say that we'll call you back, okay, we'll see that, we'll call you later, and that actually, in other words, means that we are not interested. So uh, the following or working of these maxims does vary from culture to culture. Therefore, their violation or flouting would be determined by their actual working in various conversations. How they are worked out during a conversation would determine either they are being flouted or violated, or they are being ignored. So we need to understand that the principle or maxims of cooperative principle as proposed by Grice may not be universal, and they may have the capacity to adjust, or they need to adjust the variation existing in various cultures.